want.
All right, we're going live. We're live, baby.
Just do it.
All right, I'm gonna just post the link because we have to tell people why we're live. Hold on a second, chat news. There you go on our Discord.
Some people were asking. Johnny Boy's itching to destroy us in the comments.
Share screen. There you go. Window. There you go. You guys see this? You guys see this?
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's our Discord. We're posting it. That we're going live right there. Finance Junkies right here. We post all our streams, so I'm going to post this right here.
Well, boom.
Okay, and everybody posted on their Twitter, so go ahead and do that.
Vitaly, can you send it out on Twitter and I'll retweet it?
I'm doing it now. What are we talking today? We're talking Tesla, some real estate, and the return of and we gotta wonder where Amit is. We all gotta speculate. Where is Amit?
Okay, hold on. Let's just go live.
He's taking the biggest dump of his life, bro.
It's coming out sideways.
Okay, all right. Finance Junkies is live, baby. All right, let's go. Right, Palantir plan today from Karen Vincent. What's the Palantir plan today? Okay.
Oh God.
Damn, it sucks that we've become Palantir daily.
How does that always happen? It's like we used to be Enphase daily.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna stop this share for a second. Okay, there you go. So, for first up is Amit is helping his mom. First up, we don't actually know what's going on with Amit, and so we're streaming it on our channel. He decided to ignore us on our thread, and I think Chris had a comment that he's trying to get his old ex-girlfriend back.
He totally dumped us. Absolutely dumped us.
Yeah. Amit out getting some. Well, we know that's not true, Ranger the dog. Okay, he's definitely not getting any. And his mom made him clean the dishes. That's possible. Listen, if you live in your mom's basement and you have fake brick walls, then yeah, occasionally you have to.
You got to pay the rent somehow.
That's right.
All right, so I posted it on Twitter.
What's up, Johnny?
What's up, Johnny?
Johnny's just waiting for Enovix to go back up because now it's down again.
Johnny bought some freelancer finance swag today. Thank you, man. It's a surprise of the day,
guys.
Vitaly hasn't even bought. Vitaly has a pool and a bunch of Enphase and won't buy our merch. Thank you, Johnny Boy and Pilot.
We've had merch for a year, and yes, 2 people have bought it. Johnny Boy and Pilot in our Discord. So thank you guys for supporting us.
And me, I think I'm the biggest customer. And Pilot's right, shipping is ridiculous. It like doubles the price.
Oh, really? That sucks. Maybe we should find another place to get some merch.
Well, it's low volume. It's low volume. You know.
Got it. Okay. Amit is with Carp Poster.
He's with a Carp Poster.
Okay. I don't get that. What else is up?
Any stocks you guys are checking out?
Well, Enovix is the thing that we've been sort of DCAing into.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it. I mean, we mention it a lot now, but we don't really talk about it all the time. But where do you want to start? You want to start on Tesla, Enovix? You want to start on
or since you didn't get a chance to look at that link that I sent you, we can just look at that real quick. Let's just start it with real estate. Let's just switch it up today. That link that I sent you in the WhatsApp.
I don't know if I saw that. So do you want to
the broker that sold me? Yeah. I can send it.
It's Finance Junkies. Where'd you send it?
I sent it to our private one. This one here.
Okay, I see it. 36,000. Oh, well, 1.3 million.
Yeah.
You want to share this with the public?
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do.
No,
you're trying to give away our real estate deals.
I'm probably not. What happened to Chris? We got rid of. Wow, we completely took over this channel. We got rid of Chris.
Well, this is our channel right now. It's actually not.
No, it was the Daily Junkies, the Daily Fix.
All right, so here I'm going to present. Let's see what you're talking about.
Yeah, see, this was the broker that sold me my house. I told her what I'm interested in. And she sent me this yesterday. And I've just been doing stuff. I haven't had a chance to do too much research, but there's 9 units in there. You see that they're co-ops or condos.
Do you see this?
Yes.
Okay.
You can make it a little bit. Yeah, that's good. So it's a 9-unit building in North Hollywood, an area where I used to live. Rents are pretty good there. I think that average price would be about $4,000 for like the 2 bedrooms. So
Right.
you're looking at like,
So anybody who doesn't know, I do real estate. Carlos is doing some real estate. So there's other ways to make money for the long term besides obviously buying equities. Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm looking into it more because I mean I got to run like the actual numbers, see what needs to be fixed. Maybe I'll even go take a look at it this weekend. But at that price, you'd have to be in like 270 in, but then you're making, say if my numbers are right, you're making like 36K a month.
Well, 3% cap rate really sucks, by the way. So either that's not good. You want 6%. So you want something like that, even more, I would say. So this might not be a great deal if this is the correct cap rate, but a lot of times I find that if an apartment looks like shit and you can look at the market rents, and you could probably get better market rents if you fix up something. So
yeah,
I think we saw inside. It doesn't look great. So if there is some sweat equity you can put into it, then yeah.
exactly. Well, that's what I figured. We already have that place on your coast, so I think it's like, hey, if we went in and had a spot out here.
Yeah, I think Chris has joined us.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I've been dude, I'm in New York right now and I have like such a spotty connection because I'm running everything through a hotspot. I got rid of my Fios like last month because I wasn't in New York as much. So I'm only in New York like 4 days a week. So yeah, but I got it to finally work okay now. So yeah.
Sounds fine. I guess you can't do video, huh?
Yeah. What are you guys looking at? Are you guys looking at an apartment in
This was just, yeah, it was a link that my broker sent me 2 days ago because she knows that I'm trying to get more of these buildings. Like this is basically the retirement plan. For anybody that doesn't know, all the stuff we talk about stocks and crypto, the plan is to eventually have like 10 of these buildings and just live off that.
It's funny that you mentioned that. That's why I actually messaged you earlier today, Vitaly, about if you had a few minutes. I wanted to talk to you about because you said something about Jersey City and Journal Square. So I was like, no, because I'm seeing a lot of opportunities out there because there's a lot of like spaces that have multifamily apartments in there. And I was just like, oh, how it would be really cool if we could see if we could get it like an actual house and just rent out some of the stuff. Because right now, what's his name? Amit's paying like, I'll talk to you later about it. I'm not going to put it all the way on air right now. But right now, there's a lot of opportunities for real estate that are starting to show up that may not be a bad idea to buy into.
Yep. And Jersey City, like this said a 3% cap rate, but a lot of times, like I said, Matt, that if you look at the rents in the neighborhood and the better looking apartments, what you can do is actually fix up something yourself. It sounds crazy, but you got to use your hands, not just hire contractors for everything. It's called sweat equity.
Yeah.
You fix up something, you make it better, like the kitchen, the carpets, like it could be simple things, honestly. And yeah, you buy things on Amazon, even like the apartments me and you have. Like I bought a lot of stuff off of Amazon, the nicer stuff, but it was still affordable. You put it into the apartments, like the fixtures and all that.
Yeah.
And you can do it yourself. You don't have to spend much money, and you can raise the rents $500, $600, $700, maybe $1,000. So the cap rate can go up from that point on. So it really matters. You shouldn't just look at the advertised cap rate. But if you were to take that apartment with the cap rate they're saying and not do anything and just put people in,
right,
then that's a bad rate. 3% is just way too low. I wouldn't even do it.
Honestly. I'm thinking about maybe taking a look this weekend. Obviously, I'll shoot some video and take some photos. Yeah, because I've been in that mode for almost 2 years now, ever since we were getting ready for the kid. I've been doing a lot of that, even on my own place. So the broker, she's going to come by and take a look because she hasn't seen the place since I bought it. So I'm curious to get her take on it, and maybe we'll go take a look at the spot and see.
Even if you should take a look.
It's just about just starting to get out there and do it. Like, and that's another thing to take away from this. It's like you just got to do it. You just got to get out there and do it, right? So we're just going to get out there and look at some stuff. Start comparing.
I think he's saying here. So Corey said, "You guys are so right. Recently renovated some apartments. I got rents from $500 to $950. Exactly. And the thing about inflation, which is good, and I was going to tell Carlos later, but everyone's rent is going up. So me and Carlos have one building that he's partner in, but everybody's rent is going up this year. So bad for the renters. I'm sorry, guys. Who's a renter? I'm sorry,
but good for us.
good for the landlords. And if you own property, that's good for you because you're on a fixed. If you're smart, you're on a fixed 30-year rate. So you might have some expenses going up with inflation, but they're nowhere near as fast as rents that are going up with inflation.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but we also put a decent amount of cash into that building, and it's been sitting there for a while. So I feel like we deserve it.
well, I think over time it's just an easy bet. You know what I mean? The thing is, real estate is the get rich slow scheme. There's no 10xing in a couple 2 years like Palantir.
It's 10x eventually.
it's like 10x over 30 years. You know what I mean? So you do have to wait, but honestly, it's the right thing to do when you're trying to preserve wealth and trying to keep yourself sort of sustained with like a dividend income for the rest of your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I guess, me and Carlos want to do the same thing. Where at some point we don't want to work; we just want.
That's literally the plan.
Something else has to pay us. That what 100,000, 200,000 a year, whatever we're looking for. Everyone looks for something different. Something has to pay us that. And I think the best thing is obviously dividend stocks are great, but also just real estate is great to have. I don't know if Chris is there.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what? I'm not a fan of
real
estate like that because there just seems to be a lot of work that you guys like have to put in to get it done, and the environment for landlords is not as generous as it was in the past. So I was researching it, and one of the unfortunate things is because of how many renters there really are and how they vote in a block now, politicians easily cave to a lot of like demands from the renters, and they'll give them like unlimited time to pay, like all sorts of like tenant protections. And so especially in New York City, there's a lot of landlords that are just super frustrated with how they're going to be able to just manage because everything seems to be falling on their shoulders and nothing is really left to the tenants. And you know what? I've been in both positions where I've had tenants in one of the properties that I have, and I've also been a renter, right? When I was younger, so I used to like dread the landlord knocking on the door and saying, "Hey, we got to raise the rent X, Y, and Z because the neighborhood, got better or something." Like I felt like that was one of those things that just I wasn't a big fan of, and it kind of like scarred me a little bit. But then when I grew up, I was on the other side of it, and I was a landlord, and I was like, okay, I was letting someone stay in one of my condo basically, and the guy basically would fucking call me all the time, even for like the smallest things. Like one time he calls me up and he's like, "Hey man, the dishwasher's not working at fucking 2 a.m." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
Well, step one. I mean, there's lots of steps, but step one, did you pick up the call at 2 a.m.?
Yeah, because I thought it might have been an emergency. And
then step one, never pick up the phone. Step one. You got to wait for the actual information to get to you. Like if it's an emergency, they'll immediately text you with what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Because I would say 80% of the calls or the emails are just worthless, like meaning they're just wasting your time because they have nothing better to do. So there are tenants like that, like you're saying.
The worst experience that I had was that I was in Atlanta one weekend and I got a call from the neighbor like right below me that there was like water coming like from the ceiling. So I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And so I called this dude. He's not picking up. He's just, I don't know what the hell happened, but basically he was flooding the tub, and my neighbor went upstairs. The super went upstairs, knocked on the door, and this guy would not let them in for whatever reason. And it got really bad. And then literally this is me panicking. I'm in the middle of Atlanta and I was like, fuck this, never going to do this again. When I came back to the apartment, realized that this dude like left the fucking bathtub on, got high in my balcony or something, and just passed out and flooded like the entire like basement. Not basement, what was that called? The bathroom floor. That shit leaked downstairs. So I had to pay for the repairs of my neighbor. I had to pay for fucking repairs of my bathroom. And I was like, dude, at the end of the year, I ended up actually owing more money than I got in rent, even though I wasn't even charging that much in rent to begin with. Because I was like, I felt bad because this was like around COVID time, right? And so this guy was looking for an apartment, and he was also like a coworker. So I was like, dude, like, why did I get myself into this nonsense?
So you're actually mentioning valid points that things happen to houses that that don't happen if you don't have houses. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the person who doesn't have a house 30 years from now regrets not having a house.
Well,
So
if you think about it, this is what really made me push for it. Like when I was like turning 35, I was like, well, the average mortgage is 30 years, right? And rents only ever go up. So my income potential is good now, but my income potential is going to go down. And so if you don't get into a property now, you're going to very quickly get priced out. Your rent's just going to keep going up as your income potential goes down. So
yeah,
it's
but
just
you're talking about as just a homeowner. I'm talking about as a landlord.
the math doesn't work as a landlord too, right? If you know that rents are always going to go up.
Oh,
And even
Amit's
if you're
here. Amit's here. Should we add him? I don't know if we should.
let's take a vote.
I feel like we're having an adult conversation.
We should do a vote. Vote. Do we let him in? Everyone do.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me do a poll first. Okay.
He better have a good story.
Let's do a poll.
We were gonna do a poll. Like, should we let Amit in?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yo, we're on our channel.
We gotta check your neck for hickeys. Come on.
Bro, I woke up 30 seconds ago.
Is that because postcoital?
No. Well, Chris will know because I called him in the morning, bro. I told you guys bro. Today was the worst day of, not the worst day of my life, but I couldn't do anything today. Like this shit was, the Oragel wasn't working, the Tylenol wasn't working, and so I got home.
Have you heard of a dentist?
I have the root canal on Wednesday, but like,
okay, you keep waiting.
It was bad. Yeah, I fell asleep at 6, and I was like, oh, I'll wake up at 10. It's 4 hours, and it's 10:30.
All right, no, I get it. Pain. I mean, I
Do you have
wouldn't be able to suffer.
is your tooth actually chipped? Is it actually like chipped out?
No, it's not chipped. It's just the nerve is like demolished, and like the whole day today, nothing was working. So I'm just like here, like, and then it makes the whole left side of my face throb, and
I think I've had that before. I think it's called something called a hot tooth. It's fucking painful as shit, dude. I hate that. Oh, someone in the comment section was like, it's called insurance. Bro, I had insurance, but if you ever had to deal with insurance and go through all the nonsense of insurance, it's a pain in the ass. Plus, you have to pay a deductible, and you've got to deal with a fucking angry neighbor, a tenant who you're trying to get all of this stuff done, right? While this dude is being super shady. It's not as easy as you think. And then add on top of that New York State, which is like the worst state when it comes to trying to evict tenants. I'm telling you, it's not. You want to know something? You want to know something really funny? The way I was able to get rid of him, technically I didn't get rid of him. My neighbor is married to like this big black dude, like he's like 6'5".
It's like they never found the body.
So he comes home and realizes that this happened and stuff. So he just goes, knocks like fucking crazy man on the door, and basically scared the shit out of this dude, who's like he was a nice guy from when I first met him, but he dicked me over hard. So ever since then, I'm just like turned off on renting anymore. So I'm like, I'm not gonna rent.
I mean, look, every landlord's gonna have these horror stories, but like most people want to live somewhere and they want to pay rent. Most people, if you vet them well and you give them a good deal, right, and you treat them right, you shouldn't have a problem. That sounds horrible. That sounds absolutely horrible. But I would say that's an edge case, right? Or that's not common.
You know what it is? I'm not used to being a landlord. I know some people are professionally skilled in this, where they have systems set up that they can properly manage all this stuff. So yeah, I actually do like investing in REITs, where they have a proper rate management company that has all sorts of resources that can deal with things like this, that have an expertise like this, and that all I have to do now is just sit back and just collect the checks, But now
the problem is the check is 5%. These are not going to be $1 million checks, and this is what you get with real estate. You get $1 million checks. That's what happens eventually. You're not going to get that with a REIT. It's just not going to happen.
And that's what I was going to say. It's just one of those things that you're not going to be able to build on. You're not going to be able to build wealth the same way, and also not at the same pace, and not as safely either, because REITs they're managed by humans. So something can go wrong on the human end, and it's a bad business decision, and you have to pay the consequences of it. So no, I totally agree with you. Whereas at least with a property that you own, like, you're making the business decisions. So as you can put in more effort and get more out of it, but you can't do that with a REIT. A REIT, you're just betting on someone else to manage the property and give you the returns off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I know exactly what you're saying, and I could tell you a lot of horror stories, worse than yours.
That's like a whole
But
channel.
now we can have a
literally
whole channel on horror
freaking
stories.
separate channel.
But at the end of the day, those people are going to fund my retirement at the end of the day. Like that's just the reality of it. So every time I go unclog a toilet or have to kick out a tenant or whatever, I mean, we have tenants right now that just switched over. Like I'll tell you, just a side, it's not as bad as that story, but it was just funny because I've been dealing with it. They moved out of one of the houses. They leave all their garbage outside, right? Like meaning not outside in the curb for stuff to take. They put in the backyard. They left their dresser, which is busted. They left their grills, which are fucked up. They left their clothes.
Illegal in Jersey.
Grills?
A grill. Yeah, a grill.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, anyway, everyone has a grill, but they left all their shit, and then they have the audacity. Like I wrote an email, hey, if you don't take your shit out of here, I'm going to charge you to take your shit out of here. Okay, I said it in a nice way. The audacity of one of the tenants, it was like roommates. Wait a minute. It wasn't trash day. This is what he writes. It wasn't trash day. You want me to take out that stuff, even though it's not trash day, even though I moved on this day and I can't do it. And you want me to come back and do that? And I was like, dude, you did know you were moving out for like 3 months, correct? You know, you could have worked it out with the trash people anytime you wanted to. I didn't get a response back to that. I said, in either case, you're going to be charged if that shit is still there in a week. And if it's not, then you won't be charged for that. So it's just stupid problems. It's like if you left all your trash in someone's house and then you weren't expecting to pay for it, like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Like, these are crazy things. Like, I wouldn't even think of that, but that's what people think of, you know?
The one hard lesson, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me, never, ever rent to family and friends. They will fucking dig you over the hardest.
No, you never do that. And there is a system, by the way, you have to follow when you rent to people. I'm not going to go into it all here. Maybe there's a real estate episode that's going to happen. But, and I think Amin and Chris are both now, no video.
Because I can't.
Yeah, I won't bore anybody, but there is a system the way you manage tenants and you get better tenants out of it. Okay.
Now, speaking of real estate, before we go to the next thing, and this is where maybe we could do like a full episode another time when I actually have like my camera and I can actually do like the presentation on it. But I think there are some really big opportunities in commercial real estate in New York City. I think a lot of people have basically considered, okay, New York City's dead. Like everyone's going to work from home forever. The vacancy rates are excessive. The leasing terms are going to be onerous. But, you know, it's like any other business where you're going to have like times where there's going to be a lot of supply, and then there's going to be times where there's a lot of demand and supply is not going to catch up. And that whole like supply and demand equation was really thrown off because of COVID. And I think a lot of people are starting to move back to the Northeast. Like I put a thing on Twitter today actually showing that the ADP payrolls were showing that almost 235,000 jobs in the last 3 months, they were created in the Northeast. But if you look at the South, they actually lost almost the same amount that you saw that were lost during COVID. So it's a very interesting dynamic because a lot of workers are starting to kind of have to come back to the office. Like a lot of companies are requiring a hybrid work schedule. So in order to have a hybrid work schedule, you need to be physically back near one of your offices. A lot of people during COVID moved out of their state and actually moved down south, moved down in the Midwest because of, you know, much better lower housing costs, but they're kind of in a really bad place. So I don't know. For me, I'm interested in commercial real estate. I bought a pretty significant position in a company that I know very well here in New York, and I think it could be like a nice 3-4xer.
Yeah, the good thing about equities is that you can get a 3-4x in a reasonable amount of time when something's undervalued. So I agree with you there. I keep going back to, like, people shouldn't ignore real estate because it's hard. Hard things are what make you a lot of money. Okay, it's not just buying a stock and then sitting on it forever. Like, yes, you can say that's hard waiting, but it's not the same thing. Like hard things make you a lot of money. Like starting a business, like Amit is doing, right? That's really hard, and that's why if he succeeds, he'll get billions of dollars, not tens of thousands of dollars. And when you buy the right real estate in New York and in New Jersey, you don't get thousands of dollars or tens of thousands. These are hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars over time. So people should not overlook it.
Does it if your head hurts, does that mean you're getting head?
What?
Because the left side of my head has been hurting all day. So if I've been getting
that means you gave head.
Left side head.
maybe you're
He's like my jaw hurts.
If your jaw hurts.
He's like,
Guys,
anyone else have lockjaw?
It's so like I woke up 10 minutes ago and the pain's back. It's like the sleep is the only relief I've had all day. It's insane, bro.
All right, if you want to go to sleep,
No, I wanted to do. I'm so mad. I slept through it. It's just I couldn't.
Well, you should have really went to a dentist like immediately.
I have the root canal on Wednesday. It's there.
But like this sounds like it's a medical
Wednesday. Today's Thursday. What are you talking about? Wednesday.
The sun's gonna go up and down like 6 times.
All right, that's it. I didn't actually text you the dentist's number, but let me look up this dentist number, and I
might text her tomorrow and be like, "Yo, can you do this earlier?"
I'm gonna give you my dentist number. He's probably gonna take you immediately because he likes getting paid right away.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna post it to the chat. This is my buddy who's also a sick investor. I'm gonna post it on the chat. He was on our show. He was on our first episode ever of Freelancer Finance. He's the guy that like really got us into options. He's the guy. He's one of the guy. He was the bassist in my band back in the day in like the 90s, and he's the guy that pushed me to start. One of the guys started.
And now he's a dentist.
Now he's a dentist.
Yes, he's
right?
a dentist.
Retired metalhead turned dentist.
Dude, okay, did we go through the model the Master Plan 3?
There you go.
I'm drinking whiskey till you. I don't drink whiskey. I actually like the only whiskey.
And then call a dentist.
I like Jack Daniel's honey. That's the only one I like.
Man,
That's
I don't
good.
know.
That's a good choice.
I don't know. When I'm injured, I try to get
You seriously should.
a doctor ASAP.
Kevin Smith saying Ambisol. That's why I was asking if it was chipped, because if it's chipped, like I've had problems with my teeth. You take a little bit of cotton, put some Ambisol on it, and stick it in the hole. It'll get you like a day or two. But like you're talking about waiting a week, dude. Like that's no joke. And actually, a lot of conditions, a lot of other medical conditions start with your teeth. Like bad teeth is.
Well, the thing is, the pain was pretty bearable for the past 2 weeks, but today, out of nowhere, it just like the whole day. It's
the pain went bullish. You said it was bearable. That was my joke for the day.
Wait, Palantir doesn't have a product that helps cure this? What's going on?
Before we continue, can everybody hit the like button and subscribe? We're actually at 89. I see 89 watching. So I guess big for our channel on Freelancer Finance.
Woo-hoo.
But still, let's go. Let's go.
Amit's like he's like, I'm not gonna respond until we get to 100. I'm not gonna say anything. Beneath
I just tweeted it and put it on my community feed. So
he's like, we'll get
just
this
hit like and
pumping now.
subscribe right below. I'm sure some of you haven't.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at our videos, like 80% of people that watch our videos are not subscribed. It's crazy how people don't hit the button.
Yeah, why do you think people don't hit that button on YouTube? Why do you think it's such a flex for them to hit subscribe?
I don't know. It's so easy to hit it and undo it later. It's not like it costs them.
I think I look at my own like viewing habits, and unless the person reminds me, I almost never. Because here's the problem: is YouTube's algorithm is so good at feeding it to you that if you watch it, it just shows up anyway as if you subscribe. Like I don't know if you remember back in the day when instead of suggested videos on the sidebar, it would say more from this user. So if I clicked on like your channel, it would show me more videos from you, and that was a big thing that ruined a lot of people's channels or their subscriber growth. But YouTube's algorithm
finally we can get started.
Nate says people don't want to log in. I feel like everyone uses YouTube login.
Oh, Fudbucker's here.
Yup.
Yeah, you know how you've made it. My producer wife Cindy, she says Fudbucker a lot now. She actually says, "Yo, Fudbucker's on the stream." I'm like, the fact that you say that to me now, like,
what did she say about yesterday's episode to you?
Oh, she loved it.
Oh, she loved it. That's great.
Yeah. So what did you? Did we get? We got a lot of views for yesterday's episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched it less. I mean, listened to it in the car. It was a good discussion, bro.
Well,
Outside
how
the
many
Palantir stuff,
people
like,
watched the last episode besides the people who hate us and love Chris? Besides those people.
let me pull it up.
And Carlos, you got a lot of hate.
Oh,
A lot of
I
Palantir
was
hate.
Carlos got
I was
ripped in the comments, bro.
dying.
It's finally time because I was getting tired of getting ripped.
You know,
Honestly, I was getting sick and tired.
It's just so funny how people take this stuff so seriously. It's
Well,
like,
they
It is
invested
crazy
a lot
you're
of
so
money.
wrong about
it's like,
Palantir.
It's like you're
Yeah.
talking to people's money when you talk, right? And like, so even if it's just a game for us, it's like people are like, no, this guy is fucking with my livelihood when he says this.
The
shit.
thing is, though, I am taking it seriously. Like, I am talking about people's money, and maybe people don't get it. Like, I'm 46 years old. Like, I've been through like 2 or 3 of these like massive, crazy corrections, and I've seen I've seen a lot in 20 something years, and like I'm honestly just trying to help people out. Like, I don't think Palantir is going to make anybody money, and I'm trying to sound the alarm. But go ahead, invest in it all you want. Like I said to the one guy, I'll see you in 2030. Like, you know what I mean? Like Tesla.
That's what makes it fun, though.
Bitcoin.
It makes it fun because
I
if
mean-
if Palantir shareholders are right, you're wrong. If you're right, they're wrong. So it's a fun little.
Well, the thing is,
back together.
if we're right, we don't gain anything by it. There's nothing to be won by me being right, not to invest in it at all. I want you guys. Whoa, dude, we're keeping that $10.
Whoa,
This is
Kevin,
fine.
no. This is
Yeah.
my 10. I need
What?
I need my quarter. I need
All right,
my
let's
roll
read
up
this.
the- roll up
Kevin,
the $10
Kevin
and
Smith,
shove it in
the
the-
best indie director of all time.
Yeah,
by the
that
way.
was a good one.
Uh,
That was a good one.
Yeah, let's put it up. Thought
I
you
need my
guys flaked on us
$10,
again
guys.
tonight. Props for posting on this channel. Oh, you're welcome, Kevin. Thank you for giving us the $10.
Well, thanks.
No,
for
no.
following.
That's
I mean,
my
you're
$10,
right.
bro.
Well,
You guys
you're gonna
don't
have
need
to
that.
pry it
That's
from our
mine.
dead hands.
Right.
Okay, our cold-blooded dead hands. Okay, so, but yeah, we don't want anything by you being right. I mean, in terms of us being right, in terms of Palantir not doing well, because we want you all to do well. I have no problem if you make 100x and I don't, because I still think I have good stocks that are making, my 10s and 20x's. So I'm fine. I don't need to be in every trade. I think people have to understand that. Carlos doesn't need to be in every single trade. We have our main bets, and we're okay to miss. Like, how many things are we going to miss? We missed Oxy, right? We missed Exxon over the last 30 years. We didn't invest. We
Home
missed,
Depot, right? We missed.
Yeah, the Home Depot we should have bought. We should have bought Costco. Like, Costco would have been like 100x.
Walmart.
Honestly. So we don't need every single 20x that's going to happen in the market, especially the ones we don't believe in. So we hope you get it. Amit gave $10.
Wait, you gave $10?
Yo, I'm taking that $10. I'm putting it on the wall.
I think my point.
I
is valid.
want my $10 for this $10. So give me my fucking.
No, you
Bro,
lost
all
that
you're doing is
$10,
feeding
dude.
Google, man. By the way, Google fucking skyrocketed today because of people like Amit who are trying to get money using money. Ugh.
Bro, the thing. All right, so here's the thing though. So Google takes 30% of the super chat. Twitch takes 50% of their super chats.
Oh,
and
man,
people
50%.
and like, let's say we put our PayPal or Cash App here. It's just not intuitive enough in the fun of the stream for people to not do it through you, which is and YouTube knows that. And that's the sad part. Like, that's the sad part. So like now, you have to pay taxes on these $10, guys. You gotta it's the sad part.
Talk about SoFi. He has a SoFi weekly. You don't get enough of banking every week.
Yeah, tomorrow it's doing all SoFi.
Yeah, you have a whole hour of boredom tomorrow. Just wait for that.
It's not boredom, bro. Their earnings are May 1st, and I think they're gonna do well on earnings. I don't think stocks.
I think they've always beat earnings. Technically, right? They've always, for the last 2 years, they've been sort of killing it.
Who's this?
I do have
SoFi.
Oh, SoFi.
No,
I was gonna say
SoFi
real quick, and then Chris go. I did sell a stock today.
Okay.
My whole position.
What'd you sell?
I'm gonna
So
guess.
40
Let me guess. He
Enphase.
sold. No. Well, we gotta look at it. What's Enphase at right now?
All right, here are my
190?
positions.
It's
Here are my
either-
positions.
he either
Here
sold-
are my
he
positions,
either-
then you can guess. I took a $48 loss on this position. I have Enphase, Tesla, Ginkgo Bioworks, Palantir, SoFi.
Definitely Ginkgo Bioworks already.
Yeah,
I already
works.
know what it is.
Don't
Definitely Ginkgo.
What do you guys think? What did I sell? What does the chat think? It was based on price movement today as well.
I didn't see the price movement.
I have to go and check charts, but I'm just gonna say
I have SLG too. I have Chris.
I'm gonna say Enphase just to say it. I'm gonna think you sold
Enphase today out of all days to sell.
I'm just gonna say, yeah, that's what I think you did.
Like he didn't want to sell at 2,207 to make his $400. He's
buy high, sell low. Amit's going. Amit's running that to the ground.
Oh man!
Oh, another super chat.
Dude, this live stream is the way to do it.
We gotta have $10 Tuesdays.
Missed you guys on Tuesday. Keep it up. All right, thanks.
Yo,
CBZ 323.
So Google takes 30% of that. So how much is that?
$9.
$9. Yeah, $9.
You can't do math on me. Come on, bro.
I was just doing the 3 times
$21.
You know the sad part is my mom was a math teacher for 15 years, and I still am not amazing at math.
And that's why you want to marry a math teacher, right? Is that?
I want to marry a teacher. Okay. I would love to marry like an English teacher or something. That would be something. Bro, marrying a teacher would be such a fun, cool thing to do.
You just want to wear those little crazy teacher outfits.
No, I don't want.
I didn't do my homework. What are you gonna do?
My teeth hurt. I'm late to class. Oh my god. Okay, I sold Ginkgo today. The whole thing.
Boom! Told you.
It was only 1,500 shares, but so the reason I sold was it was up 10% today. So I was like, I saw my loss go to like $48 versus like 300. I was like, I can take a $48 loss, and then I put I think half of that money into Enphase.
Oh, nice!
Whoa,
smart.
Yes.
Who is this guy that looks a lot?
He's
like
learning
right now.
The reason I did this,
I think you got to keep. I don't think you shouldn't do the root canal. It's helping you think clearly.
Right, he's gonna. He'll be all gone. I did this worth $5 million.
By Wednesday, Palantir is gone. It's all Enphase.
He's buying puts and spreads.
The reason I did this is because every stock was down today. Ginkgo was up 10%, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get out of this while I can right now and just take a small loss. And two, it's like Jason Kelly is selling almost 100,000 shares every other day, and I'm just like, all right, this motherfucker's selling at 125. Fuck you. Like I'll get back in at 120 if I get there and make a very like $1,000 position, but it's not in a big enough position to protect. You know, like it's just not. It's 1,500 shares. It's $1,500. It's not enough to protect it. So, but Enphase was down. You know, you saw Vitaly. Did you buy Enphase today? It was down bad.
You know, I was actually working all day, and I was about to. I was actually going to sell. I didn't do it yet. I'm converting dividends to Enphase. I said that. So I was going to sell JPM, which I'm up on, JP Morgan, and convert it. But I was like, okay, I can't do this in a rush manner while I'm working. I was literally working in the middle of it. I was like, let me just do it tomorrow morning when I have some time. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's down. I think it went up slightly after hours to 193. Someone said. I thought it was 190, and it was in 180s, right? What was it? 187?
188. 188 at the lowest, I think.
Right. I mean, those are reasonable prices, honestly.
I also bought SL Dream. I also bought more SLG. So yeah, Ginkgo wasn't worth it, man. And I publicly said on my channel, it's like a lot needs to go well for it to even double at this point. So maybe I'll get back in later.
You want to know something? The key thing, it's not wrong to speculate on companies, except there's just one rule that you have to apply, and that if you're going to go, and could possibly be like a 10x, invest in a way that you're going to maximize your return, but take the least amount of risk possible, right? So if you think about it, these are like moonshot plays. So yeah, it's like, okay, I am willing to lose $1,000 doing this, but what does that mean? That means, hey, you know what? Let me buy some really out of like way out leap calls on this company, and if it hits, I'll go up like 10x, 20x, maybe even 50x. But if I lose, I'll just lose this small amount of money, right? I think that's one of the key things that ever since I started doing that, when I started investing, I realized the best way to do it when it comes to speculative stuff is, and you should always have that part in your portfolio where it says specifically, if you're going to win, aim for the moon, but if you're going to lose, just aim to lose small, right? So it works for me. You know, I've had multiple like 5xers. Like Meta was like that. Meta was a position like that. Like when Meta was down that much, I was like, okay, you know what? This is something that if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But I don't see it going to zero, so I just bought a shit ton of leap cons, and right now I'm chilling. And me and Vitaly are both chilling right now.
Yeah, I'm really happy. In fact, everyone kept talking about, because I was down earlier because I've been buying Meta for a while, since 300, and I bought at 270, bought at 250, bought at 220, bought at 200, bought at 150, all the way down. I think I'm finally almost a break even. 216. I'm around. This is roughly my average, not counting the leaps I bought and the earlier shares because I consider that a separate chunk. So those are way up. But I think I am now almost at break even with my older position on Meta, and I still think it's a $300 stock. So it's not like I'm selling it.
What do you guys think about Rocket Lab?
Too speculative.
Really?
I like what they're doing, but I think it's too early to invest, at least for me.
But isn't this the valuation you invest and give it 5 years as a spec play?
But
they're launching a lot of fucking rockets, bro.
But that's
so small position. Chris just said if you had a couple of grand in it and you left it alone, you can't trade that kind of shit. That's the kind of shit you buy and you don't touch.
Yeah.
Just like DNA, by the way. I don't necessarily agree you should have sold out, but I think you did a better thing buying Enphase, honestly. But still, if you're already buying something, you got to hold that for 10 years. You can't give DNA 6 months to do what it's going to do. That's ridiculous.
And it was such a small position. I didn't feel like having that money just stuck there, you know?
No, but the small position can become 20% of your portfolio if you give it time, or zero, of course.
But you won't care because it's such a small amount of money.
Yeah, like I have a position in Weight Watchers, right? Weight Watchers. I know a lot of people are like, like, oh, what is Weight Watchers going to do? They have like a good amount of debt on their balance sheet. But I'm like, everywhere you look, they're still a branded company. They still have Oprah on the board. You know, they just switched over their policies on promoting like some other alternative medicines where they're actually like helping prescribe Ozempic and Eli Lilly's new drug Mounjaro, which by the way is on fire. So I'm like, oh, you know what? If they're able to actually capture this could easily be a 5, 10, 20x. So you know what? I am going to keep it in my speculative portfolio. And it's not a lot. It's like $4 or $5 a share right now. And if you look at it just based on its intrinsic value, because it's still generating operating cash flow, it's one of those things that that could, like I said, be a generational buying opportunity. But I'll say this, it's not something that I would say, okay, throw half of your money into. You know, this is not a blue chip Fortune 500 kind of company right now. They're going through a lot of their own transformations in terms of businesses changing. So, yeah, I mean, everyone should just designate a portion of their portfolio to like highly speculative names. And you never know. Because, I mean, I wish like when I told my dad, like, oh, Tesla wasn't going to go anywhere in 2011 and 12 and he sold his entire position. You know what? Maybe he should have just sold 20,000 of that $25,000 position, just kept 5,000 and just say, let it ride and see where things go. He would have more than made up all the money that he would have made otherwise.
I got to say, this is a new Chris.
Yeah.
It's not the Chris.
This is the same Chris. It's just, you know, and I've always been an advocate for that, where risk management, where once your portfolio size, like a specific company gets too big, but you're still willing to put more money into it, that's when you buy puts. Right? Not when you're buying, like you don't buy puts on if, oh, I have 100 shares, let me buy puts on. Like, no, that's dumb. Like if you have a very small amount, you don't have to worry about it because even if you lose, it's whatever. But if it's starting to become a large part of your portfolio, then yeah, then that's where you should buy some protection just in case.
Yeah. I want to do a quick calculation here. A buddy of mine, I just want to look at what Tesla's stock price was. A buddy of mine, he's in the same industry as me.
So if you guys have questions too, put them in the comments. So we'll do that in a couple of minutes.
All right. So a buddy of mine, like he works in the same industry as Vitaly and I, and he was doing one of these like sit down interviews when Tesla like first IPO'd. So what did they IPO at? What was Tesla's IPO?
I think it was $30, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but you mean post
yeah,
now. And now it's like $2 or something.
Right. But I'm saying at the time, I think you're right. I think it was like $30. At the time, he was like he was hired to do like an interview with Elon Musk, and he met him at this like interview, and he said to me after that meeting, I was like, wow, this guy's pretty interesting, and it sounds like this thing's gonna be pretty cool. So he just bought 1,500 shares of Tesla like that day. He just said, I just bought some shares, and then just ignored it. And I'm doing the math now with the splits. Right, split 5 times, then split 3 times. Right, so with the splits, he has 22,500 shares of Tesla right now at 185. So I'm just doing the math on that right now. 185.
It was like a 15x split, 15 shares for every one, I believe.
Yeah. So he's always sitting. Am I right? That's like $4 million.
Wow.
So if he bought it at $30, right? $30 times $1,500 a share.
45 grand.
Yeah. So he put like 45 grand in. and
So
it
it's
turned
still
into $4 million.
good chunk
So
of change.
I bring that up. I could have some of the numbers wrong, but that's exactly what you're talking about, Vitaly. It's like you just buy a small position, you leave it. I mean, Tesla IPO'd in 2011. It's a long time, but that's some monster gains, man.
Yeah, think about Bitcoin. Think about all the people that see. Here's the thing: you could have just said, you know what? I have $100 to play around with. Fuck it, let me buy some Bitcoin and just never think about it ever again, and you would have had $1 million right now. Right?
You'd have more.
If you bought Bitcoin when it first came out at like,
look, if you look at look at
50
Bitcoin's
cents,
price, Bitcoin's
$1.
price was it was like,
Bro, the problem is that it's hard to look at when it first came out because no one knew how to buy it. There was no Coinbase.
Yeah,
it was
harder.
So hard.
But by the time it was around like $300 or so, it was very possible to
yeah. Then it was.
Yeah, but I remember Vitaly and I we were mining it when Ethereum was like $8 or $12.
We were mining Dogecoin, and that didn't work out. We tried.
No, we weren't mining Doge. We were mining Ethereum.
No, I think I tested mining Bitcoin. I tested mining different things because they all have different difficulties, right, to mine.
Yeah.
And I think Doge was actually becoming very popular at that point when it was like 0.0000001.
It was like Shiba Inu. Yeah, it was the March of Zeros.
It was like it wasn't even 5 cents. It was like worthless basically. But and that's when
some guy put 1,000 and made 5 billion off of Shiba Inu. Like it was actually insane.
Well, that's
that's a crazy case, and that's the kind of thing that makes people broke if they say I want to follow. But some guy put $1,000. Vitaly and I lost some kind of a bet, or we made some bet with the audience, and we had to buy $100 of Shiba Inu. Yeah. So I still see that in my portfolio.
I'm down.
I'm down like 99%. I think I owe them some money, like the dogs at my door.
You know what's really fucked up? The same guy that I told you flooded my bathroom and everything. When he first moved in, he offered to pay me in Ethereum, and I said, "Fuck that! Keep your magic money. I want real cash."
What year? Wait, what year was this?
This is like what is it? 20...
How many Ethereum was he willing to give you?
Nothing. I told him go fuck himself. I want cash.
Oh man, that would have been worth like 5,000 a coin at one point.
It's like I can't fucking pay.
I was talking
magic money.
All right.
I was talking about this in the Discord. I'm really surprised at how few people are even considering crypto still. I mean, when you see Bitcoin, a single Bitcoin went from 20,000 to 8,000. That's an $8,000 gain. Like, forget the percentage. It's an $8,000 gain, and people are not. People will put 20,000 into Meta or Google, but they won't buy a Bitcoin. I just don't understand.
What's interesting is some people say that Bitcoin, it'll never get to $1 million, blah, blah. Bro, I could not fathom Bitcoin ever getting to $1,000. All right. But it fucking happened. So Bitcoin is one of those things that might actually be worth speculating on, where it's like, you know what? Yep. Let me just put $1,000 in this stupid thing and see what happens. And you never know.
I think this is ChatGPT pretending to be Chris.
I thought Chris was bearish on crypto.
This is why we don't see a video, right? Because ChatGPT has not figured out how to do video yet. All right, ask some questions if you have any, because we got to call it a day. I got to go to sleep, people.
Buying Bitcoin is legit. Buying NFTs is stupid right now.
All right, is there any questions or no? We're just moving on.
Yeah, there's so many questions. How do you not see them?
I don't see any questions.
Yeah, there's some questions. I mean, but the whole point was we said we were going to talk on the Tesla master plan.
Oh yeah, we did not. Let's leave that for Sunday. That'll be our Sunday episode.
I haven't.
Dude, that one slide that Dave Lee did did a video on today was like mind blowing on the master plan.
Okay, we'll answer this one first.
How to find wife.
That's a broken English question. Anyone want to take this? How to find wife?
Someone tell me.
I don't think you go. You don't find a wife. You work on making yourself the best absolute version of yourself, and then you will have your pick. Honestly,
yep, I agree.
As a dude, like, it's a different strategy if you're a chick, but like, seriously, just work on being the most badass, dominant version of yourself, and you'll have your pick of the litter.
Go to the real John Sargis question. That's a good one.
Here's the answer. Okay. You've got a question answer right there.
He's like, order her on this website.
There you go. I do have stories about this. I had a uncle who bought a couple of Russian Ukrainian wives before Ukraine war and all that, and both of them ended up leaving him after they got their
green card.
whatever it was.
Makes sense.
Both of them. So it's like
That's
that's
why
what,
Russia
that's what they're
hate
here
Ukraine.
for, you know. Okay,
That's
so where else?
hilarious.
Amazon.
What was the question? Should I sell all my investments? This one? Should I sell all
No,
my
go to Real John Sarge first. That's a good one. It's a
That's
light
it.
one.
Should I sell all my investments, about 6K stocks, ETFs, and 2K in Pokemon cards?
Real
and pay
John
off my
Sarge.
7K,
I'm
and pay off
looking.
my 7K in student loan debt? Biden, please, not financial advice. Oh man,
Oh, there you
Pokemon
go.
cards. I don't even know.
I don't think you should sell to pay off the student loans. If you have a good interest rate on the student loans, because
right. Why would you
by next year or something randomly? You know, you never.
Biden, please.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Well,
Biden's
I Pokemon cards. Does he really need those? Come
That's
on.
like it's like I have 10K in Beanie Babies. Like, what do I do? Like,
Yeah.
Well, if I sell the Pokemon cards, I would put it into stocks. I wouldn't sell off the loans.
if anything, yeah, get rid of
Hey,
this.
well-
Get rid of the Pokemon cards and put it into some stocks. You have some
Definitely
conviction.
not the loans now, because you never know. The Supreme Court decision might go your way, and Biden gets rid of 10K, or Biden's just going to delay it till re-election because he doesn't want people to fucking pay student loans for at least another 7-8 months. So,
Right, and why would you get rid of it now if you can run on that? You can promise that.
All right. Legit question. Why do people live in cities like New York or New Jersey? Salary similar to Texas, Colorado, Nevada. Housing is way expensive and weather sucks. I always wondered. Thoughts? Well, I live in New York.
That's
New
where my
Jersey.
mother pushed me out into the world. Like I fell out and I was like in New York. Like, hey guys, you know.
So the weather doesn't suck. Today was 75 degrees.
The weather
The
does
weather was
suck.
great.
Dude, the weather does suck. I'm sorry.
It
I
depends
lived
when.
in New York 37 years. The weather is horrendous out there.
No, but you don't like the changes in weather?
No.
Not Carp?
No, you think you like the weather. That's you telling yourself that you like that. Guess what? You can come out here and you do get swings, but we don't. It never gets freezing cold. When it rains, it's still not so bad. The heat isn't really that bad. Like I'm convinced that like the LA, San Diego area is like the best weather in the world.
Oh yeah, it's
like,
great weather. But today we had a beautiful day in New York, and also all of the hustle and bustle is in New York. Okay, so I'm sorry to tell you, it's not in Colorado.
That's true.
If you want hustle bustle, if you want to be young and make it, this is the place to do it. That's just bottom line.
So I grew up most of my life in New York City. The only time I wasn't in New York City is when I went to Stony Brook for undergrad, which is in Long Island.
Oh, Stony Brook.
We by the way, I keep forgetting.
School.
We both went to the same school, by the way.
Did you really?
Yeah, Stony Brook.
Yeah. And
Crazy.
and I went to, after that I was in the military. So those were the only times I left. Now the thing with New York City, and this is what happens when you grow up in New York. It is a dog eat dog world. And
That's
you
right,
have
baby.
to
New Jersey too.
You have to be a very strong-willed person to deal with everything that comes your way. The minute you wake up in the morning, it's like go, go, go. The minute you go to sleep, it's go, go, go. And the thing is, it becomes a part of who you are. And it also like crafts you into a much, much harder person, and also teaches you a lot of valuable life lessons that I feel like you don't necessarily get once you move out. Like I know that like my brother-in-laws, they grew up in Georgia, right? Like near Atlanta, but in Georgia. And I don't think they have it in them to succeed in dealing with some of the stuff that I've dealt with over my lifetime.
Yeah,
and why?
Let's face it, they're pussies.
They're not pussies. They've dealt with things that are way different than what I've dealt with. And because of that, they're not nearly as well-rounded of individuals as adults right now. Like they're still like they get flustered when something hard happens. In New York City, like it's almost like we're basically trained to deal with shit.
Something hard happens every day.
You know, that's what it is. Like you wake up in the morning, did I fucking park my car on the right side of the street today? Otherwise, a goddamn ticket fairy is gonna come and give me a goddamn ticket. You know, oh, I gotta go do this. Okay, the city's gonna come and fucking shut me down. All right, I gotta do that. I gotta do that. So it's this constant like stress. But if you are one of those people that can overcome that stress and let it like become a part of you, and you can thrive and excel, New York City will turn you into a fucking workaholic beast that you can translate into some really good money making abilities. So if you want to hustle, New York is the place. If you have it in you to hustle,
but you got to do it. You got to do it young. Like when I moved out here, I was 37, and I feel like it was like a superpower, right? I was able to easily outwork everybody, like just easily. Like a half day for me was like people like, oh, you know. But in the last few years, I'm finding that it's actually maybe a bit of a negative, people out here are just, I don't know, they're just not accustomed to some of that hardness of New York. It's not as effective. It's now kind of a detriment. People really shy away from anything sort of aggressive out here, and so even just the way that you speak, if you're from New York, you can be seen as like aggressive or off-putting.
Liberal.
Let me ask you a question real quick. When did you, what age did you realize, did you tell yourself, holy shit, I'm actually working hard? Like when did you realize I am putting in the hours?
When I almost got into an accident on the FDR after my third fucking job. I was working 3 jobs, bro. And then I literally, that was one of the reasons why I quit one of my jobs, because I almost got into an accident on the FDR while driving home. I wasn't even driving home. I was driving to my other job, because when I was in my 20s, bro, I was hustling, man. I was hustling like crazy.
Yeah.
I would say 20. I'd say 20 years old. Like my last year, no, you know when it really switched for me? I would say I was kind of cruising to the first 2 years of film school. And then something hit me. I was just like, I don't know. I felt like a piece of shit. I was like, what am I doing? I'm like cruising by and but I'm not really learning anything. And at some point in college, it hit me that like the value here, it's true. It's true. The value of my 4 years here are going to be what I pull out of it. I'm not like, normally when you're in like high school or whatever, like the teachers are pushing the learning down your throats. But in college, it's more like, look, the information's there. And if you're a hustler, you're going to do really well. And that hit me somewhere between second and third year. And I just went into overdrive. And I saw the difference in the way my classmates treated me. I suddenly was asked to work on bigger groups, bigger projects. I did very well my senior year, and then rolled right into the job market. And then, I don't know, at 21 years old, we started that company, and it was all great. I mean, we made something like $500,000 between like me and 2 of my buddies at like 20 years old. And then 9/11 hit and destroyed everything. And that forced me to start investing and move on. So I would say I don't know any different since like 18, 19. I just don't know any different. But now that I have a kid, I'm actually seeing what I'm missing out on. And this makes me more, I'm willing to give up even more time right now for money so that money can buy me the time that I want later in life.
All right. So one more question. Let's see what we do.
I went to college and stopped drinking. That's a good one too. Fuddfucker. Yeah. Drinking will ruin you.
Let me see one more. Anyone see a good one? Oh, here. This is the last one. Just a real one. Do you guys have a Roth IRA, and do you invest in there?
Yes. For God's sakes, if you don't have a Roth IRA, get one ASAP. Start putting money into your Roth. You can still go for 2023 and put it. One of the greatest.
You have until April 15th or it's 18th.
April 18th. I think.
So you better hurry up and do your maximum, which is what, $6,500?
This year, no. Last year, I think it was like 5,000 or 5,500. This year, it's 65.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just throw it all into CVS.
No,
in my Roth.
You know what it is? A lot of people don't understand how Roths work, but Roths are like one of the greatest things for an investor, because everything in the Roth grows tax-free. Like literally you can put any sort of investment in there and all the returns, you don't pay any taxes on it. A great example is something that Peter Thiel did. Peter Thiel bought I forgot which company using his Roth, and right now he's got $1 billion in his Roth right now, and they can't touch it. Like the government can't come after it at all.
Well, he's that's fair and square. I would say that those are the rules.
He put private company shares, I think, of Facebook in the Roth.
Yeah, but you're allowed to do that. If you're allowed to do that, then that's fair. That's it's something we can do if we want. Maybe I should put my Odia shares into my Roth.
You won't get it till 65.
When I wake up one day, it's worth 0.
So that's the other thing.
But they won't tax you on that 0.
They won't tax you on
that. Will I get a deduction?
No. What Amit just said, he said, you can't touch it till you're 65. For Roth, that's incorrect. You can actually use that money beforehand. I think there's a rule that you get a charge 10% penalty after before 5 years, but after 5 years, all of it you can pull whenever you want.
Well, no, you can actually take out your money that you invested, the original amount, anytime. It's the gains that you get taxed on. So if I ever wanted to take out the whatever measly amount I invested, it wouldn't matter if it all 100x'd, obviously, because you'd have to be taxed on that.
So what I typically do with my Roth is that a lot of my dividend portfolios, dividend stocks, I put them in my Roth, especially things that are getting me a lot of return in dividends, because I already have income. My wife has income. The last thing we want to do is increase our income even more, because anytime our income increases, we end up paying way more. So it's almost like we're paying right now based on the two of us 40,000, I think 40% on any additional dollar that comes into us. But with a Roth,
Even in Georgia? Even in Georgia?
yeah,
Even in Georgia?
yeah,
Is that your effective? Is that not effective, but is that like your income bracket tax rate, 39%?
Close to it, because like me, like we do very well. So she's a clinical pharmacist. I work in a highly specialized field. So yeah, we both do pretty well. But if you think about like right now, New York City, I pay city, state, and federal. My wife right now, she pays state and because I'm still a resident of New York, so
you got to pay local taxes, and then you have property taxes, and
yeah, so we get taxed pretty hard. So the best thing we can do is make sure that we have our money in a Roth, so that none of our additional income generating assets are being taxed at the same rate. So if you want to invest in a dividend portfolio, if you want to create one, it's better to do it, especially if you're a high income and high net worth person, to do in a tax sheltered account rather than one where you're going to have to declare it at the end of the year and then pay taxes on it.
Or in the Cayman Islands.
All right, guys. If you guys are good, let's call it a night, and we'll see each other when? Sunday?
Sunday, my channel will be here. We'll make sure my team.
Sunday, yeah, markets are closed.
Can people hit like and subscribe? We actually have 161 people watching right now.
Where'd all these people come from?
I think Amit posted a link, so we got a lot of Palantir folks in here.
They're like, all right, they didn't say anything about
Amit brought the Palantir army for me. They're out for blood.
All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you on Sunday.
Peace.
Good night.